outlay of 10,000 crore for Biopharma Shakti budget 2026 has made some significant announcements for the pharma sector. Co-founder and managing director Bharat Biotech International Limited and CII Vice President Dr. Suchitra K Ella and CII Chairman Shashwat Goenka have weighed in on the budget. Here is an excerpt of that conversation.
Overall, I think it's a balanced budget, continues to grow on what has been done in the past few years. And we have seen certain remarkable focus coming out in certain areas which are extremely good. We have heard, like you said, we are just off the, off the session, and after the FM has just closed it. We've probably even not had time to put our thoughts together, but the big names that come up front is infrastructure. There's biopharma, which we kept hearing at the very first opening remarks of the Honorable FM. We also heard a lot about the MSME sector.
Yes.
That was something that was very, very, encouraging for us, especially in CII. And of course, we also, tourism was given the thrust, and there was also areas where we heard about the medical institutions, the skilling of, medical technologies and those areas. So there was, broadly, there was infrastructure, of course. There was also a lot of impetus given on local manufacturing of equipments in construction and in medical devices, and so I think it was, by and large, it was well balanced out, and there was also the other areas of the handlooms and the artisans and the textiles that was also covered, which is very encouraging because these are rural, these are our rural economies.
Absolutely.
And the farmers, of course, the veterinary sciences, the animal husbandry also rang a bell to me.
In fact, your sector has also gotten a 10,000 crore boost. We'll come to that in just a bit and perhaps, decode later. That. But overall, the sense that I seem to be getting from you is that the focus, it is positive, it is balanced, and a whole lot of focus has been given to MSMEs, which has been very, very critical and important at this point when global trade disruptions are currently going on. And if we have to be self-reliant, then a whole lot of focus has to be given to these small units. Mr. Goenka, your first key takeaways and something that you're not very, very happy with, something that you were expecting to get announced, but it did not.
So I think when I look at the budget overall, it was a very balanced budget. It was a budget that builds on India's growth momentum. It builds on the policy consistency that we have seen over the last many years. And if I was to quote the finance minister, it was a budget that chose people over populism, aspiration to achievement, and potential to performance. So I think all in all, it was a very well thought through budget, which addressed every sector of the economy and every sector of society. So is there something that's left wanting? No. Is there lots to cheer about? Yes.
How would you rank this budget then?
9.5 out of 10.
Okay, ma'am, you?
It'd be around 8.
Okay. Okay. Let's also talk about, the jobs aspect as well. And we were just discussing a short while back on how it is of critical importance, given the kind of technological shifts also that we're seeing in the world as well. There is, of course, bit of fight between the United States and China that is currently ensuing as far as technology and other sectors are concerned. What do you make of that and the kind of push that's been given to AI, semiconductors or electronics or precision manufacturing?
I think the finance minister touched on skilling.
Yes.
So I think eventually it all comes back to us as a country being focused on skilling, because these areas are very new and they are cutting edge technologies. There needs to be a lot of skilling that needs to be done, from the college level onwards, especially. And also for those of us in industry who have to use these technologies, we also need to do a lot of reskilling in terms of our own existing, ecosystem of the employees and the manpower that we deploy. because a lot of these technologies, again, have to be understood, thought through, because each sector may have a different application. So we have to see how it's going to benefit each one of us. It would definitely, in terms of scaling of our production, manufacturing. When I talk about scaling, it's that. Then it'll also be very beneficial for us, especially in the biotech life sciences sector, in terms of clinical research, augmenting information, using AI tools to for targets and for understanding the target points that we need to assess in the data that we have to compile over the different markers that we have to identify the disease burden, and also the way the drug response in the human system or in the animal system going forward. So there's going to be a multiple areas of usages for each one of us, because every industry would have a different area of applying AI and its various platforms. We ourselves in India have to adapt ourselves to this and see how best we can deploy these tools for enabling our own products and services and scale of operations as we go along. But it will be nevertheless very important for Indian industry to to start moving in this direction as to skilling, training, reorienting ourselves, and bringing in those appropriate tools to augment our operations at all levels.
Absolutely, ma'am. And if you remember, just before the budget, we were talking about how a push to Capex is something that the government is focused on. And this time around as well, Shashwat, we did see, Capex push, and 12.2 lakh crores is something that the government has sort of presented, which is a significant increase from last time around. Your thoughts on that?
I think it was required. And it's really well appreciated that the government understood that this is a requirement for the economy to continue to grow at the speed that we're growing at. And I think the 7 sectors that they identified for the manufacturing push, I think that itself, right from biopharma to electronics and semiconductors, to the rare earth minerals and the corridor that they wanted to create, as well as the chemical parks. I think these are all segments which are going to help India grow faster. And so therefore the outlay in all of these, along with the outlay outlined for skilling, which ma'am was talking about as well, to bridge the skillings gap, especially in the world of AI, and when 65% of our population is under the age of 35, there is huge employment opportunities that will come, but employment matched with skilled labor is what's important.
All right, with this, it's time to take a quick break, but after the break, a lot coming up.